Alright, hello and welcome. So, Baro is back and let's talk about what he's brought us today. So first and foremost, the new item for today is the Eminence Palette. This palette is kind of a weird amalgamation of pretty much every palette in the game that has purple or like cyan in it. So things like the Easter palette and the Twitch palette, this definitely has a lot of similarities with. That being said, if you're into a lot of the purples and pinks and stuff that those palettes have, this is definitely going to be your thing. And I think the blues in this palette are actually quite good. They're very similar, however, to the other palette we have today, which is the Katir palette. So just to know that going in. It's also very cheap though, at only 220 ducats, so not hard to get into. Besides that, we have Primed Morphic Transformer, which is an Arcwing Prime mod. Man, there's no way in hell I can justify telling anyone to level this mod. It is definitely a waste. Maybe there's some tiny fraction of a % chance that this becomes a thing we need for Railjack, but I really just don't see it happening. So you can very safely skip that. Otherwise, we have Sweeping Serration, Maim, and Buzzkill. If you're going to be farming any of the Terrorless, like if you're going to be doing 3 stacks of Terrorless runs, you're going to get these eventually anyway, so I cannot advise you to buy them with ducats. If you're never going to do that, however, Maim is useless. Sweeping Serration goes on the Tigrish Prime, and Buzzkill has maybe some potential to be useful whenever we get the melee rework, but I personally really don't see it happening. Anyway, we also have the Quanta Vandal and the Apheus skin for the Quanta Vandal. Quanta Vandal, a very, very good beam weapon. It's not quite the Amprex or the Ignis, but it is very solid for the beam category. And then we have the Katir armor set, or well, one of the Katir armor sets, which is also quite nice, and the Katir presence, and so on and so forth. And we got that Roken Tower extraction scene again, for anyone who missed that beforehand. And that's going to wrap it up for PC, so let's look at console. Console gets their unvaulting today with Volt, Odonata, and kind of an unvaulting. It's not really ever vaulted of Aklex Prime, so if you're into any of those, pick up the According relics. I would, of course, advise you that Volt is definitely the best thing there in terms of what you're getting for farming it. Besides that, though, we have the Prismatic Gorgon and its skin today, so if you're looking to pick up the Prisma Gorgon, you also have the option of getting a nice skin for it. I think the Prisma Gorgon looks perfectly fine as is, and also performs quite well. So, yeah. With that, like, we also just have, like, kind of like the basic stuff here at the end. We have, like, Fanged Fuselad, Vermilion Storm, Astral Twilight, Tempo Royale. Like usual, Tempo Royale is the only one of those that's actually worthwhile, with the caveat, of course, that that could change whenever we get the melee rework, as it is fast approaching. But yeah, the other two stances are very easily farmed. Tempo Royale's rarity is the only thing that's making it worth picking up if you don't want to do the farm for it. Anyway, that is going to do it for Baro today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you tomorrow for a Vauban video, if you couldn't have possibly guessed that somehow.